තිය බේෆුලුන්නක් කමුදා රශෙ ගද ෆහකක් ගෙන්දුමට්ටක PSM එයා ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කුරෙවුම ෆහු මෝටු කුරව්වා
Making headlines this hour, President announces land reclamation work officially commences in Giravaru. Economic Minister says that major initiatives such as the Ayla Sustainable Township project are of significant importance to the Maldives' economic future. And the CEO of Ayla Maldives project states collaboration with the government demonstrates that the Maldives is a favorable destination for large-scale investments and has strengthened confidence in the country's investment environment.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Idham Naeem. President Dr. Muhammad Moise announces land reclamation work has officially commenced in Giravaru. He made the announcement in a social media post stating the work began on the Friday morning.
The reclamation project is being carried out using the trailing suction hopper dredger Orangia, one of the largest dredgers brought to the Maldives. The vessel has the capacity to carry up to 22,000 cubic meters of sand at a time. While reclamation work has now begun at Giravaru, President Dr. Muhammad Moise earlier stated that the project is expected to be the first reclamation initiative in the Greater Malé area to be completed next. According to the Environmental Impact Assessment EIA report released on 22nd January, a total of 169 hectares of land will be reclaimed under the project. To date, 56 hectares have already been reclaimed, with a further 113 hectares yet to be completed. The report states that 12 hectares were reclaimed during the first phase of the project, followed by 18 hectares in the second phase and 26 hectares in the third phase. The EIA report further notes that reclamation will next be carried out in deeper areas. A new land use plan has also been developed for Giravaru. Following the revision of the land use plan, a redraw will be conducted among land recipients. Under the revised plan, a total of 4,072 plots of 4 different sizes will be allocated. These include 2,603 plots of 1,250 acres, 1,214 plots of 1,650 acres and 254 plots of 2,050 acres and 1 plot measuring 2,450 acres. The Giravaru reclamation project is aimed at addressing the housing challenges faced by recipients of the capital. The government has stated that efforts are underway to complete the project as soon as possible and provide housing opportunities to the maximum number of people. In addition to Giravaru, reclamation works are also ongoing in the Malé area and in several parts of the atolls. Authorities have confirmed that the third phase of the Hulmale reclamation project has been completed, while reclamation activities continue at a rapid pace in other locations.
The national airline Maldivian launches new air connectivity linking 4 southern atolls of the Maldives with flights scheduled to commence on 1st February. The new services will connect Addo City, Formula City, Gaf Alif Atoll and Gaf Dal Atoll by air. A special ceremony to mark the launch was held at Gang International Airport, attended by Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Muhammad Amin, along with several cabinet ministers and senior officials from Maldivian. Maldivian currently operates flights to Gang twice a week. With the introduction of the new service, all southern atolls will now be connected by air, strengthening regional connectivity and contributing to social development, he said. Under the new operation, 4 airports across the 4 atolls have been linked. Bookings for the flights are now open, and Maldivian has announced the applicable fares. The airline will operate the services across 5 sectors. These include flights from Ado City to Kardettu and Kudu airports, as well as routes connecting Formula to Kardettu and Kudu. Flights will be operated using Twin Otter aircraft, the smallest aircraft type in Maldivian's fleet, with a seating capacity of 15 passengers. The initiative aligns with the policy of the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation to strengthen regional transport links, particularly in the southern atolls. With the introduction of these services, Ado is expected to become the main air travel hub for the southern region. The launch is expected to benefit both local communities and the tourism industry, allowing tourists to travel between multiple islands in the southern region via a single hub. This is expected to support resorts, guest houses, and other tourism-related service providers. Minister of Economic Development and Trade Mohammed Said says that major initiatives such as the Ayla Sustainable Township project are of significant importance to the Maldives' economic future. The minister made the remarks in an interview with PSM News while speaking about the commencement of practical work on the project.
The Ayla Sustainable Township is the first major development project to be implemented under the Special Economic Zone (SEZ) framework in the Maldives. The government officially handed over the project permit on 11 December last year. The project is being developed in the areas of Digufaru Faru, Dekunufaru and Kuramadu and is being undertaken by Crystal Holdings Private Limited. Economic Minister Said noted that economic activity in the Maldives is heavily centered on the tourism sector. While the industry has undergone significant changes in recent years, he stressed the importance of diversifying and expanding economic activities beyond tourism. He said the Ayla Sustainable Township project, located in Nunu Atoll, will deliver wide-ranging benefits to the country. The project carries an investment value of over $800 million and will include a world-class health facility aimed at strengthening health tourism in the Maldives. The township will also feature international standard facilities to provide training opportunities for local youth and visitors. According to the minister, the project has been designed to operate using 60% renewable energy. In addition, a dedicated facility will be established to sell locally grown produce that is currently imported, which Minister Said said would help the Maldives strengthen its position in the global competitive market. The minister further stated that the government plans to implement similar township projects in other regions of the country. While the Ayla Sustainable Township will become the first sustainable township in the Maldives, it is scheduled to open in 2028. The project is the first major development to be launched under the Maldives Special Economic Zone initiative.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ayla Maldives project, Peter Kostic, states collaboration with the government has demonstrated that the Maldives is a favorable destination for large-scale investments and has strengthened confidence in the country's investment environment.
The Ayla Maldives project, which includes the islands of Dekunufaru, Digufaru and Kuramadu in Nunu Atoll, is the largest foreign private investment project ever undertaken in the Maldives. The project is valued at approximately $800 million and is being developed by Crystal Holdings Private Limited. The project was officially launched by President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu. Speaking at the launch ceremony held in Nunu Atoll, CEO Peter Kostic said that while the Ayla Maldives project is a private initiative, it is also a national effort. He noted that the participation of the country's highest government officials at the ceremony reflects the priority given by the government to this project. Kostic said sustainable townships are part of President Muizzu's vision, adding that the opportunity to implement such a project demonstrates the president's courage to change the direction of development in the Maldives. He also expressed gratitude to the government's Board of Investment for its cooperation in completing the necessary procedures to commence the project. Describing the process as challenging but mutually beneficial, the CEO said it has significantly boosted investor confidence in the Maldives. The CEO further stated that the project will deliver a range of facilities, including an international standard hotel, school and health facilities, and aims to become an internationally recognized destination. He said the hotel school will be operated by internationally recognized educators and will help develop the next generation of Maldivian hoteliers. Noting that the project is privately funded but community-oriented, Kirstich said his goal is not only to develop an international standard destination, but also to be a long-term partner of the country. The Isla Maldives project is targeted to be completed by 2028. The government has said the development will open a new chapter in tourism and contribute to revitalizing the national economy.
President Dr. Mohammad Moise lays the foundation for the Isla Sustainable Township project.
The Isla Sustainable Township is the first major development project to be implemented under the Special Economic Zone (SEZ) framework in the Maldives. The government officially handed over the project permit on 11 December last year. The project is being developed in the areas of Digu Faru, Dekunufaru and Kuramadu and is being undertaken by Crystal Holdings Private Limited with a total investment of $790 million. Reclamation works for the project commenced in March last year and were completed by December. Key features of the Isla Sustainable Township include generating 60% of its electricity from renewable energy sources. The development will also include a world-class health center and an international standard tourism school. In addition, the project will establish a co-aquaculture and mariculture zone equipped with modern technology aimed at ensuring sustainable local production of food items that are currently imported. The Sustainable Township is expected to become operational by the end of 2028. Once completed, the project is expected to be unique within the Indian Ocean region and serve as a global model for sustainable development. The government said the project will represent a new phase of foreign investment in the Maldives, providing comprehensive access to essential services for its residents, workers, and their families. The project is also expected to create employment opportunities, establish public services, facilitate education and training, and contribute significantly to sustainable economic growth across the country.
The National Laboratory of Agriculture has been officially inaugurated in Formula City. The facility was inaugurated by Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, Dr. Mariam Maria.
The laboratory has been established to address challenges arising from the lack of national-level agricultural research, diagnostic services and specialized laboratory infrastructure. It aims to enhance farm productivity, strengthen disease and pest control measures and improve national biosecurity. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony, Minister Maria said the establishment of the National Agriculture Laboratory in Formula City represents a significant step forward in the ongoing efforts to modernize agricultural services and ensure national food security. She said the laboratory will support the selection of climate change resilient crops, strengthen disease control, improve soil quality and increase agricultural productivity. The National Laboratory of Agriculture will provide services to farmers as well as researchers, extension officers and policymakers. Authorities say the facility will play a key role in promoting sustainable, climate-friendly and safe agricultural practices across different parts of the Maldives. The laboratory was established under the Project for Developing Sustainable Agricultural Economy, implemented by the United Nations Development Programme UNDP in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, with financial support from Japan.
According to the latest weekly update released by the Ministry of Tourism, more than 200,000 tourists have visited Maldives so far this year. The report shows that a total of 200,801 tourists arrived in Maldives as of the 28th of this month, marking a 3.9% increase compared to 193,174 arrivals recorded during the same period last year. Statistics indicate that this year is the fastest on record for Maldives to reach the 200,000 tourist mark. The highest number of tourist arrivals recorded on a single day so far this month was on the 11th, when 9,596 tourists entered the country. Current data shows that Maldives is now receiving an average of 7,171 tourists per day. While China was the largest source market for the tourists at the end of last year, Russia has emerged as the leading source market so far this year. However, authorities note that tourist arrivals from China are increasing rapidly. The three countries with the highest number of tourists visiting Maldives this year are Russia with 26,965 arrivals, Italy with 21,137 arrivals, and China with 18,531 arrivals. According to the Ministry of Tourism, the highest number of tourists arrived through Mahafaru International Airport and Gan International Airport. So far this year, 198,329 tourists have arrived via international airports, while 714 tourists arrived through Mahafaru Airport. Tourist arrivals to Maldives have increased significantly in recent years. The country recorded a total of 2.2 million tourist arrivals last year, marking a record high for the tourism sector. The Ministry of Tourism and Environment issues an invitation for bid IFB for the lease, development, operation and management of tourist resorts in Kashidu Lagoon, Kafu Atoll and Farumuli Nuno Atoll.
The government has designated both locations as priority areas for tourism development. According to MOTE, 10 hectares of land will be reclaimed from the total 115.21 hectare area of Kashidu Lagoon for the development of the resort. The proposed resort is required to have a minimum of 100 beds. Meanwhile, an IFB has also been released for resort development in Farumuli. The island comprises 0.41 hectares of land and includes a lagoon measuring 71.18 hectares. Land reclamation of up to a maximum of 15 hectares has been permitted for the project, with a mandatory minimum of 150 beds. The ministry stated that both islands will be leased for a period of 50 years. A construction period of 36 months will be granted from the date of signing the agreement. Virtual pre-bid meetings for interested parties will be held on 16th February and 3rd March at 10:00 hours local time. Participants are required to email planning@tourism.gov.mv by 1200 hours on the day prior to the meeting to register their interest. Bidding documents can be purchased from the MOTE building in Male from 1st February to 31st March between 900 hours and 1300 hours or via email at planning@tourism.gov.mv. The IFB application form is also available through the same email address and on the ministry's website at www.tourism.gov.mv. The deadline for bid submission is 10:00 hours on Wednesday, 1st April, with submissions to be made in person to the ministry. Interested parties may submit inquiries via email until 29th March 2026.
The Ministry of Tourism and Environment officially announces a call for tenders for the development and operation of a new tourist hotel in Nilandu, Kafu Atoll. The project, covering a sprawling 13,300 square feet plot, is expected to feature a minimum of 50 beds, catering to both international and domestic tourists. The land will be leased to the successful bidder for a period of 50 years, with construction required to commence within 24 months of the agreement's signing. Interested developers are invited to attend a virtual information session on 24th February to gain further insights into the project requirements. Prospective bidders must submit their proposal by 12 p.m. on 1st April to be considered. Registration for the information meeting is mandatory, with participants required to send their name, email address and a contact number to the Ministry's official email before 12 p.m. on 23rd February. Bid documents will be available at the Ministry of Tourism's reception during office hours 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. from 2nd February until 31st March. For additional inquiries, interested parties are encouraged to email the Ministry at planning@tourism.gov.mv before 1 p.m. on 29th March. This development is part of the Maldives' broader strategy to expand tourism infrastructure beyond its established hubs, promoting economic growth and employment opportunities in lesser tourism developed areas. The Ministry of Tourism and Environment officially invites tenders for the development and operation of tourist hotels in Bara Ha Alif Atoll and Funadu Shaviani Atoll as part of its efforts to expand tourism in the northern atolls.
In Bara, a 71,832 square meter plot has been designated for a hotel project with a minimum of 50 rooms, while Funadu will host a similar development on a 3-hectare area. Both projects will be leased for 50 years with a 24-month deadline to complete construction after signing the agreement. The ministry has opened bidding to both local and foreign investors with bid documents available from 1st to 30th March. Proposals must be submitted via the ministry's website or in person by 31st March. President Dr. Muhammad Muizzu last year had highlighted that the Bara project will be an ecotourism initiative promoting environmentally sustainable practices while creating jobs and boosting local income. Funadu's Faru Lagoon, known for its seasonal migratory birds such as flamingos and a breeding ground for mud crabs, highlighting its rich biodiversity, presents a unique ecotourism opportunity. The Funadu Island Council emphasizes sustainable use of its natural resources, prioritizing conservation while developing tourism infrastructure.
Indonesian stocks rebound after the steepest two-day share price fall since April, following index provider MSCI routing a possible downgrade of Indonesian stocks to frontier status.
The benchmark Jakarta Composite Index dropped more than 8% on January 28th and January 29th, but was last up 1.18% a day after authorities announced the proposed measures to address MSCI's concern and ease investor worry. Indonesia's Chief Economic Minister Airlangga Hartarto promised increased financial market transparency and improved corporate governance after Indonesia's stock exchange CEO Iman Rechman resigned to take responsibility for a $80 billion share out. Proposed improvement measures include doubling the free float requirement of shares to 15%, allowing pension and insurance funds to increase capital market investment to 20% of their portfolio from 8%, and checking the affiliation of shareholders with ownership of less than 5%. Regulators said communication with MSCI has been positive and that they are waiting a response to their proposed measures, which they hope to implement soon. Their swift action appears to have allayed investor concern, but sentiments remain fragile. Jakarta resident Arif Muhammad Faisal said the market turmoil reinforced his wariness of stock trading, adding that he prefers investing in gold and dollars.
New malaria vaccines are helping Ghana move closer to a long-sought goal, ending child deaths from the disease. Health officials say the shots are proving to be a game changer in a country that has already made major gains through insecticide-treated bed nets, preventive drugs and faster treatment.
Two vaccines, one developed by GSK and another by Oxford University with India's Serum Institute, are now helping dose the remaining gap. Ghana's immunization program says child malaria deaths have fallen sharply, with confirmed deaths among under 5s dropping by nearly 86% since 2018. But progress across Africa could slow. Gavi, the Global Vaccine Alliance and the only organization buying malaria vaccines for African countries, warns funding shortfalls mean fewer children will benefit. Gavi says it can meet only about 70% of expected vaccine needs over the next 5 years, potentially leading to an estimated 19,000 additional child deaths. The funding gap follows aid cutbacks by the US and other wealthy donors. Washington says it remains committed to fighting malaria but has stopped funding Gavi unless it phases out vaccines containing the preservative thimerosal, despite scientific evidence showing it is safe. Britain, Gavi's biggest donor, has also reduced its pledge. The World Health Organization WHO says the vaccines reduce malaria cases by more than 50% in the first year after 3 doses, with a booster needed before age 2. While not perfect, health experts say the real-world impact is clear. Health officials say vaccines combined with existing measures are easing pressure on hospitals, but without sustained funding, they warn the gains against one of Africa's deadliest childhood diseases could be at risk.
Krista Dunn, an Olympic champion and World Cup winner who made 160 appearances for the US women's national team, announced her retirement from professional soccer.
A key figure in the United States 2019 World Cup win and their 2024 Olympic triumph, Dunn hoisted the championship trophy in the top flight NWSL 3 times, with the North Carolina Courage in 2018 and 2019 and with the Portland Thorns in 2022. A versatile talent who was lethal in the midfield and forward positions, she became a critical piece of the national team's defense, shining at left back despite it not being her preferred role. Dunn is the latest in a series of high-profile players from the US modern golden age to retire. She played alongside the likes of Megan Rapinoe and Alex Morgan, cementing herself as a bedrock of the US backline. Among the first black stars to break through in a once overwhelmingly white US women's soccer program, Dunn served as a role model for the next generation.
Sotheby's is showcasing works by some of the world's celebrated modern and contemporary artists ahead of its second auction in Saudi Arabia, reflecting the kingdom's growing appetite for high-end art and a younger base of collectors, organizers say.
More than 60 works are on public display in Riyadh ahead of the Origins 2 sale, which will take place on January 31st in Diriyah. The auction features artists including Pablo Picasso, Andy Warhol, Roy Lichtenstein, Anish Kapoor, Roy Lichtenstein, Anish Kapoor and David Hockney, alongside Saudi and Middle Eastern names. Sotheby's Senior Vice President and Head of Contemporary Art Day Sale, Ashkan Bagistani, said the auction is part of a broader effort to widen access for regional artists. The sale includes works spanning modern and contemporary art, with one of the main highlights being a late-period Picasso painting estimated at around $2 to $3 million. The auction will also include pieces by Saudi artists Mohammad Siam and Dia Aziz Dia. Sculptures and paintings by artists including Egypt's Abdelbadi Abdelhai, Iraq's Mahmoud Sabri and France's John Dubuffet are also featured. The auction will take place in Diriyah, a historic area of Riyadh that the country is working to transform into a cultural hub under Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 program. The works are currently on public display in Bujairi Terrace until January 31st, coinciding with the start of the Diriyah Contemporary Art Biennale 2026. Sotheby's said interest from local buyers continues to grow, particularly among young collectors. Sotheby's held its first auction in Saudi Arabia last year, achieving $17 million through the bids.
That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.